Hey, good people. What's up? David Taub here. I am back, and we are going to get into part 2 of this lead guitar lesson where I'm showing you different, techniques that you could use, devices, and different things to help you along in your soloing and improvisational journey. In the last section, we looked at a cool way to expand the expanded minor pentatonic scale and some cool licks that you could play and kind of vary that fit over real nicely this track. And in this lesson, we're going to get into, maybe I'll show you an arpeggio and ways that we could add that in, but ways to put a twist on it. But hey, if you'd like a free video lesson that's not on YouTube and a coinciding ebook, click on the link in the YouTube description box below. Follow the screens, and I will send you a killer ebook that has a lot of the scales we're talking about today diagrammed out, chord charts, all kinds of lessons. It's an awesome resource, really cool ebook. I'll send you that and a video lesson, all for free. Just click on that link, and we'll send it to you from Next Level Guitar. Right, so we're going to be in the key of C minor for this series of lessons, and the jam track we're going to be using is just a simple 4-chord change. It's just a C minor to a flat major, to a B flat major, and then back to C minor. And then it starts over again in the key of C minor, melodic. So the first thing I always try to do is establish, well, what kind of sounds do I want to create over this? What kind of mood? And in this lesson, let's shoot for some bluesy, rock kind of, licks. Some of the things you could try over this are like C minor pentatonic scale, C minor pentatonic and blues scales. Also, C natural minor, also called C Aeolian mode, will sound great, and I use that a lot in the intro. Let's take a look at those scales up close. So one of the scales you could use over this would be the expanded minor pentatonic and blues scale. You could find it by third finger on the low root note in any key, in this instance C, so this right here is the 8th fret. So we'll start it on the 6th fret of the low E string. It'll look like this. I'll play it nice and slow for you. Another scale that we'll use in these lessons is the C natural minor scale, also called C Aeolian mode. There's one particular shape that I like off the low E string, 8th fret. It looks like this. And there's another shape that you could use also down here on the, this is the 3rd fret on the C note. Looks like this. So one of the things you heard me play in the intro was this arpeggio. It's a minor 9 arpeggio, and basically all an arpeggio is the notes of a chord played separately. And I really like playing arpeggios and throw them into my playing because it gives you different combinations of notes that usually will equal a chord tone, but also it spaces the notes out a little further than just playing like a scalar run. And if you're playing over chords, you can really outline the chords, right? So, and then I try to mix the arpeggio up with scalar notes or a melodic device or bends, because you don't necessarily always want to be playing an arpeggio straight all the way down and straight all the way back when you're jamming, much like you wouldn't play a scale straight every note down and every note back. You want to kind of mix it up with scales and licks and devices and things like that. A minor chord is just a root, a flat third, and a 5th, right? And we're in the key of C, so those notes in this key would be C, E flat, and G. And then a minor 7th chord adds the flat 7 on top of the minor chord, so you have root, flat 3rd, 5th, flat 7. So then we're going to add the B flat note. Right? And then if we want to play a minor 9, we add the 9th on top of that, so you have the root, the flat 3rd, the 5th, flat 7, and then your 9. And in the key of C, our 9th is a D. Right? So you get that C, E flat, G, B flat, and then there's our 9th, our D. Right, let's look at that arpeggio up close. So let's take a look at this C minor 9 arpeggio. It's low E string root. You can play it in any key. In this instance, we'll play it in C, so put your first finger on the C note. 8th fret, low E string, and the arpeggio will look like this. blend it on the high C. So basically we're playing that root, flat third, fifth, flat seventh, ninth. Our ninth is the D. Then we repeat it. It's a great arpeggio. Alright, so now you know the arpeggio, you know, just kind of play that over that C minor chord and see how you like it. You know, again, it's all about the sound. You know, find what arpeggios you like that sound over certain chords, and then you can exploit them, you know. See what sounds best to your ears. What I like to do with this arpeggio is when I get it up top, I like to bend off of that ninth or that D note. So what I'm doing is taking that and bending it a half step. So I'm bending the 10th fret up to the 11th, or basically bending the D up to the flat third, the E flat. And then you can let it down. Go back to the root note C, 8th fret, hammer to 10th fret, and pull. Right? Another thing I like doing when I get up to that 9th. You might have heard me play a lick like that. I might have played it down here. Is I'm exploiting a half step bend. In this instance, I'm bending it, letting it down, then sliding it up a half step. So I'm getting the sound of the bent note, and then a half step sliding back. And then I pull off. So the lick is something like this. You hold the bend if you want. So basically what I'm doing, bending up a half step, letting it down, pulling off, hammer on, then sliding it to the 11th fret, sliding it back and pulling off. Then you work up the speed, but it sounds great. You attach it to the arpeggio. So anything you kind of do, and then actually, I think what I did was I went into that bend, which is a great bend in minor pentatonic, where I'm bending from the 11th to the 13th. See, I'm bending to that up a whole step from that B flat up to the C, which is a winner, bending to the root note. That time I went from the arpeggio. I just did the hammer, high E string, 10, 11, pull, 10, pull, 8, and then right to the bend on the B string. That's a cool lick too. So anything that you could do to get from the end of the arpeggio to that device or that bend, it's going to sound awesome. And you don't necessarily even have to play it all the way from the lowest C note. You could start it wherever you want. Like if I wanted to start it from the D note. Right, go into that bend. Right, so you get the flavor of the arpeggio. You don't necessarily have to play every single string, but you could kind of, you know, mix it together. So that's a great arpeggio. And remember too that that arpeggio is movable. That's the shape, and I was playing it in the key of C because I was starting with my first finger on the C note, low E string. If I wanted to play that arpeggio in the key of A, I would just move it because that first finger tells you the root, same shape. Now I'm going to play it on the 5th fret low E string. That's my A note. Same shape. Now I'm in the key of A minor. So it's a great arpeggio that you can move around and really get a lot of mileage out of. Take time with the notes as you're going through them. You could slide them. Right? You could bend them, you could slide them, especially those half steps. There's so much you could do just with one little arpeggio. Find that cool sounding jam track that we have like on the website or whatnot, and just put that track on and just get lost in it and get creative and have fun. That's the big thing, right? That's what guitar is about, all about having fun. We're all about the fun here at Next Level Guitar. And I get a lot of questions about gear. And so I thought I would tell you what I'm playing through today is I'm playing through a USA-made Paul Reed Smith 513 guitar. It has all single coils. And basically, I would believe I was playing through most of the lesson. I'm either playing through the back 1 or 2 coils, which you can actually kind of make like a humbucker, get that sound. And then I was playing also through the neck pickup all the way up front. And as far as gear, I'm just plugged straight into the front of a Matchless Independence 3-channel amp that's off camera. And I'm just running through channel 3, which is the higher gain channel. And I'm just using the amp distortion and a little reverb. So you could hear that reverb, but that's it. Basically no effects. I'm just running straight into the amp. Real simple setup today. And the back pickup. Get that kind of, you know, like a humbucker, more screaming lead, as opposed to the neck pickup up front gives you a little bit more of that kind of throaty, more traditional kind of single coil sound. Tune into the next part in this series where we'll get into some more, maybe some more arpeggios, some more lick stuff. Be sure to tune into the last lesson. Don't miss that one either. And we'll continue on with this and continue on with the big fun here at Next Level Guitar. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Taub, co-creator of Next Level Guitar. Be sure and click in that YouTube description box and get your free video lesson and coinciding ebook. It's awesome. And then also I'll send you some jam tracks too, and some other stuff for free. So be sure and click on that link and you get the ebook, which is awesome. Subscribe to our YouTube videos. We'll let you know when we have more stuff coming out, right? Always fun doing some stuff here on YouTube. And if you get a chance, go to our website, nextlevelguitar.com. It's a full-on structured guitar curriculum, an insane amount of lessons, like over 1,500 and growing because we add new material all the time. All genres of music, beginner, intermediate, advanced, acoustic, electric, lead, rhythm, we got everything on there. It's awesome. Check it out. There's a 3-day free pass right on the homepage, so you can give the site a test drive. You might really like it. It might be just what you're looking for. I think you'll like it. Okay, so be sure to tune in for the next part. Take care and keep on rocking.